Hello everyone, this is a review of the LEGO Minecraft Crafting Box 2.0, the second of this type of set that they've released in this series. It's a very different type of set in that it doesn't just have one kind of finished product, one finished version. They give you a lot of instructions in this set with 3 different options for each of 3 sets of numbered bags. So this right here, just this assembly, is what you make from bags numbered 1 in this set. And it's just one of 3 possible options. From bag 2, you get this back here. From bag 3, you get this. There's bag 4, there's bag 5. But I will show you at least one other option for each of these as well, and then show you the pictures of the rest of the things that they suggest and give you instructions for. But you're entirely free to use your own imagination, take any of these things apart, and rebuild them however you choose. So this is a player-built structure that's on sand and next to a little bit of water. It's got some funny stuff going on for the roof design and used 2 stacked gates in the front rather than a door to let you see inside all the time. You can actually get more light in there very easily by just removing the roof. It's not a full brick thick there, but you know, it looks fine, I think, from a distance, unless you're just nitpicking at the thickness right there. But not even attached with any studs. You know, it just kind of sits down in there. It lets you see that there's an item frame back there with a gold sword. A good thing to do with a gold sword. It's definitely not something that you want to really use very frequently. The stacked up gates can be opened up as well, and there's a crafting box over in the crafting table, excuse me, over in the corner on this crafting box set. But that's it for interior detail. I don't know if that's supposed to be a pressure plate or just a bit of jungle wood that was used to fill up a hole that somebody may have accidentally made. Got some windows on the side as well with actual glass panes put in there. And just look around the back. Doesn't look so bad around the back, just interesting different colors. This assembly allows you to make a transition from a sandy area to a grassy area. Got, I guess that's supposed to represent some vines that are growing on the tree there, but with the use of the jumpers on the sides, I suppose you could just take one of these transparent pieces and attach that there and use it to be able to easily just pull off, you know, without having to work too hard, pull off some leaves if you want to gather some of those with some silk touch to get some extra decorations to use in some way. But you know, nothing too fancy or special with this. It pretty much speaks for itself as you look at it. This gets into some actual mining operations. They got the TNT there, and this has an action feature built into it as built according to the instructions. There's a lever on the back which is super obvious with the bright red color, but that allows you to activate the explosion of the TNT block itself. So let me just go ahead and do that. Let's see what that looks like from this side, because some of the blocks are not attached quite as well intentionally. That's pretty dramatic. It works really well, actually. I like that. Would have been nice to have some more kind of breakout towards the front towards you, but you know, for stuff going in just one direction, that really blasted all of these parts out and allows you to get to some redstone. Yay! We can never have enough redstone. That's sarcasm. I get way too much redstone while just looking for more useful or more valuable and less common stuff. This is an enclosure for a domesticated animal, or maybe multiple if you've got some small ones. You really want to pack them in there. The set only comes with a cow, so you probably only want to have just one in there. Maybe you could squeeze 2 in. If you had chickens, then you could probably fit a handful of them in there. This is kind of stylish with the balcony up above. I could see using this in conjunction with a 2-story, you know, small 2-story structure to give you a little overlook. You know, come out an upper story window and have a look forward. And it's just a little bit of source water over there, and this also makes a little bit of a connection between a sandy area and a grassy one. This to me is definitely the most interesting looking of the initial builds here. Looks like this was put together by a player who, you know, cares about a little bit of symmetry with the stairs and the fencing along there. Got a couple of them. Some of those are stained glass blocks that have been placed up. Got some beets growing over here on the side. I think that's the first time that LEGO has put official beats into a set. Don't quote me on that, but I don't remember them using that particular color for the harvestable vegetables previously. But yeah, this is nice, and it has the elevation change going with it. Yeah, just in general, just looks good. It looks like a good place to stage up some different figures. They also have the small slime there, and also a chest. And the chest has within it right now some wheat that's been harvested already, and a bunch of gold nuggets. Lastly, to encourage you to connect things together, they also give you some dark tan 2x4 bricks. So here's just one possibility for connecting those specific modules together. And there are multiple different ways to do it, and each module is a different shape and size, so they won't fit together just in a perfect grid pattern in most cases, but I think that's okay. The set comes with Steve with leather leggings, a creeper, small slime, standard cow, and a very nice horse. The horse has the ability to bring the tail up or down, bring the head up or down, and you can also rear it up on its hind legs. Just bring the tail out a little bit, use that for stability, and there you go. That's nice. Here's another set of official configurations of parts from bags 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This build gets a little bit more vertical with a bridge that goes over what could be a stream or possibly a moat to protect access to a larger scene. It has the doubled up gates on this side, and then there is a kind of a stairway, just 1 block wide stair access up to the top of the thing. And on the other side, when you come down, you get to another gate over here, which will open up side by side. They also have the stairs over there. However, one of the stairs is missing, just one of them. Well, in between this thing, beneath the bridge itself, you see some glass blocks there. But on the other side, and maybe you can start to see from this side exactly what's going on with some tiles in there. It's a mechanism, a very simple manually activated mechanism that allows you to bring this step out or retract it back in. However, when you retract it in on this side, then it's going to become available on this side. So that's just providing a little bit of protection from one side at a time against being crossed by monsters who don't know how to jump. Here's another piece of land that gives you an interface between a sandy area and a grassy area, and it just has a couple of small trees on it. It looks like perhaps some working of the land is starting over here. I'm not sure exactly what had been going on. I would have liked to see a full source block over there rather than just the flowing water, but you got a source block of lava here, not much actually spilling out from it. But you know, it's kind of a basic plateau area that connects between two different biomes, I would assume, and just a couple of small trees that are always nice to have just to dot around a landscape. This build shows how somebody was really just playing around and trying out different things, just for the fun of it, I think, because this has the most basic of redstone circuits. That's supposed to represent a continuous circuit going down the side here. This is supposed to be a button on top, and the idea is that you push the button and the TNT goes flying and breaks a bunch of blocks around it. And in this case, it all comes up as one big chunk because they just have this plate underneath. Definitely not as satisfying of an action as the version in that first build that I showed you. And here again, you just are crossing between a sandy area and a grassy area. And there's really not much to be seen around elsewhere, but this will provide a little bit different edge or corner to a scene. This, meanwhile, is an ornate entrance with the fencing going around the sides and the gate just in the center of the archway. I actually made an archway like this in my very first Minecraft world, and just kind of provided, you know, a nice looking welcoming entrance to the main courtyard in my case, and I think it's probably doing a similar thing here. I found the source blocks of water under here. I would have used a couple of the gray bricks or something from one of the other builds instead to be able to continue to use those source blocks, because the transparent pieces are, you know, less common than opaque pieces. So I think you would want those to be a little bit more prominent and to be actually on display rather than hidden under here. It's not like you can even reveal them beneath the ground. They're just being used for support. And then here's another farming spot. This is set up pretty nicely, not the most efficient arrangement for use of the water and the tilled soil and all, but that's okay. I like how it looks. I really do. I like the stonework, the way that's set up. They got the fencing along the back, torches up here, growing some beets, growing some wheat, put together a scarecrow, you know, just a little built up thing, which looks pretty cool. Also have a pumpkin that's growing there. Yeah, this is a nice scene. And they also have the chests involved this time, and they've used the wheat stalks over here actually, you know, having grown, so this just has the gold nuggets in it this time. Here's how that looks from the back. Still nice. Here's one way of connecting those modules together. I tried to keep the kind of boundary between inside and outside protected and not around one side, but this is just one way of doing it. And this time I did bury the connector blocks down beneath, and I was left with just a little hole in the center, so I went ahead and used some of the connector blocks to create a little bit of a pattern there. But like I said, it's a creative box, so there is no one way to do things. Even if you do use their official, you know, their official sub-build instructions, still there are many different ways to put those sub-assemblies together, and there are more ways to use those same parts to create different sub-assemblies. Here are the instruction booklets, and each booklet has a number on the front of it which corresponds to the number of the bags that have the parts used to make what's shown on here. So they show you the 3 possible options. This is the one that I didn't show you for bag number 1, which is a nice tower setup. This one takes you into more of a desert scene, the one that I didn't show you with the cacti there. It's good that they had those pieces included there. They're normally used for the trees, but that works out well. Here, it was this one that I didn't show you, and it just shows a little bit of a vertical area that's built up. It's probably kind of crossing a little bit between different possibilities for height involved with this. It could be showing you a little bit of an underground area and a little bit of a surface area at the same time. And it does have that action for blowing out a piece, just a single block in this case. For bag 4, the build I didn't show you is this one here, which just has some water infinitely flowing into a small hole in the back of a little square pen area. And finally, I showed you this and I showed you this. This is the one that I didn't show you. So here looks like some harvesting has already been done. And yeah, this one's a little bit more random looking to me. Ultimately, this accomplishes its goal of being a big old parts pack with some very concrete suggestions for what to do with those parts. I appreciate the inclusion of the horse. I actually even really like getting Steve with the different colored legs. I think that just looks nice. Even though we've gotten a million Steves up to this point, there's a little bit of variance there that is actually special to me. I guess because we've gotten so many of the same things. Creeper we've gotten plenty of. Cow, I feel like you probably can't get too many of those because they're very herdable. So, you know, at the very least you could create your little steak farm out of those. So I don't mind that. And, you know, the instructions that they give you for suggestions aren't the most concrete, well, they aren't the most solid designs or anything, but I think if anything looks particularly silly to you, you know, where you look at it and say, well, that shouldn't be like that. That should be like ... What follows then is building it the way you think it should be. And that's it for the Crafting Box 2.0. Thank you very much for watching and stay tuned for my next video, which is on the way. Talk to you again soon.